Join us this evening. In compliance with the State Government Code on Open Meetings, tonight's agenda has been appropriately posted. These proceedings are being video and audio recorded and will become part of Judson's permanent legal record. In order that the tape adequately reflects these proceedings, please silence your mobile devices and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Once again, I extend to each of you a sincere welcome from the entire school board. Thank you for your interest in Judson ISD. We have established a quorum, and I will call roll. Ms. Canoyer?
Suzanne Canoyer, present.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Jennifer Rodriguez, present.
Ms. Eaton?
Deborah Eaton, present.
Renee Pichelle, present. To my immediate left is our superintendent of schools, Dr. Jeanette Ball.
Welcome. Thank you, team.
At this time, we will move on to item 3.
No, ma'am. No recognitions at this time.
Item 3, acknowledgement of visitors and citizens to be heard. We have one citizen, Phil Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. My name's Phil Vaughn. I have 2 kids at Olympia, and my wife's treasurer of the PTO. And I'm here tonight to ask you to reconsider your mask mandate. I know you're under 2 different orders, one from the governor and one from Bexar County. And I ask you to follow the governor's order instead and make a decision based on facts and what's the best interest of our kids, not emotions. If we're doing masks to save kids, they're really not at risk from this, thank God. Based on the CDC's website this morning, to date in this pandemic, only 354 kids under the age of 18 have died from COVID-19. Out of 75 million, 354 kids have died. This is not a major risk for the kids. They're more likely to drown, suffocate, commit suicide, or get hit by a car. All of those have higher death rates than COVID-19 on an annual basis. If we're not doing it to help the kids, then maybe we're doing it to help adults, but all the adults have access to a vaccine and shouldn't be hiding behind a kid's mask. We shouldn't be asking our kids to do something that doesn't help the kids. And we all know that masks also do not work, the cloth masks. Dr. Fauci admits himself that the cloth masks do not work, much less an 8-year-old wearing a cloth mask who's not washing it regularly, doesn't fit properly, and is touching it. So it's not helping anybody. And anybody who thinks that a kid, an 8-year-old wearing a mask in elementary school is going to protect them from COVID-19 is fooling themselves. And I also don't want anybody to think that there's not a cost to this mask mandate. We're creating anxiety, depression in these kids. We're scaring them to death for something that they don't need to be scared of. And we're stunting their development. I don't know how any pre-K kid coming into an elementary school is going to learn how to enunciate, is going to learn social norms, facial expressions. We're doing them a disservice. So tonight, I'm just asking you to please reconsider and not follow the Bexar County order, but follow the governor's order and make a decision that's in the best interest of our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughn. Item 4, consideration of consent items. If there are any items that anyone would like to have pulled, please let me know. 4A, consider and take action regarding approving expenditures equal to or greater than $50,000. 4B, consider and take action regarding approving the 2021-2022 Student Handbook and Student Code of Conduct, which includes student fees. 4C, consider and take action regarding approving the revisions to the approved Judson ISD 2021-2022 instructional calendar as presented. 4D, consider and take action regarding approving the revisions to the Judson Early College Academy 2021-2022 as presented. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the consent items as delineated by our president.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We'll start with our roll call vote with Ms. Canoyer.
Suzanne Canoyer, aye.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Jennifer Rodriguez, aye.
Ms. Eaton.
Deborah Eaton, aye.
Renee Pichelle, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 5, discussion and consideration 5A, consider and take possible action regarding the approval of an amendment to the compensation plan of the 2021-2022 fiscal year. Dr. Ball?
Yes, ma'am. As the board knows, the team always works very hard to make sure we do right by our employees. So everybody has a handout with them. I just want to make sure, Ms. Eaton, you have the handout? Okay, great. Just want to briefly talk about this. All of these are either things that we forgot or strategies that we're doing to be more cost effective and to recruit individuals. So you'll see on there a bus monitor driving a small bus. We would like to be able to give them an incentive to be able to drive that bus. Then some changes that we needed to make was the web and media specialist, the supervisor for custodial services. None of these are a decrease. They're all increases for our staff. Then the specialist categorical programs also. The one that I'm the most proud of is that our team, HR and business and finance, really tried to do something for our long-term substitutes in order to be able to get more individuals to substitute. And we would be paying them at an 80% for these are the substitutes that are working on their teacher certification. So it's not for every substitute, but it's for a teacher that is working on their certification. We had omitted the swimming assistant coach. So we needed to add the assistant coach on there, and then a stipend for bus drivers of $500. This is to be able to recruit more bus drivers. So if they start with us by September the 1st and they stay with us all year, they would get a stipend of $500.
I have a question. For the substitutes, that's usually paid at a daily rate, correct? Or is this for people who are going to be considered a substitute teacher the entire year?
So this is more for individuals that are on an emergency permit. That instead of being paid a substitute rate, it's an incentive to finish out your emergency permit and your certification. So it's not for the traditional that you think of a substitute, but it's for individuals that are just on the line of becoming teachers, but they don't have everything completed yet. In the past, we've been paying them just the substitute rate. Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other questions or comments? Is there a motion for this item?
I move we approve these adjustments to the 2021-2022 compensation plan as presented.
And I will second it. The motion has been moved and seconded. We'll start with Ms. Canoyer. Ms. Canoyer, what say you?
Suzanne Canoyer, aye.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Jennifer Rodriguez, aye.
Ms. Eaton?
Deborah Eaton, aye.
Renee Pichelle, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 6, discussion, items, reports, school safety and the safety plans for the 2021-2022 Back Together, Back to Better school year. Dr. Ball?
Yes, ma'am. Madam President and board members, we have put together our plan, and it is online, and we have shared that with our parents. Wanted to share that it is very similar to what we have done previously. So now that we've received guidance from the mayor and Judge Wolf, yes, we are going to be adhering to the mask mandate. In addition to that, we are going to make sure that we provide hand sanitizers, social distancing as much as possible, and making sure that we do everything to keep our students safe. So we put that online and just wanted to see if there was any questions or anything specific that the board wanted to discuss. We are, as the board knows, having a board meeting next Thursday. Next Thursday, at that time, I would then specifically like to talk about what we will do when an employee tests positive in regards to their days. And that'll be for next Thursday's agenda. But for right now, we are following those guidelines, and we will be doing everything to make sure we keep our students safe.
Is there any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Ball, so my understanding is that there will be a hearing on the judge's order, the health authority order on Monday.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we will follow what the guidance is at that time based on what the hearing says?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the hearing that's at 9 a.m.?
I do believe it's at 9 a.m. And I would think that they would send us out some information right after that.
But Monday will be requiring masks at the schools.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wanted clarification on that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am?
Hi, this is Miss Eaton. I just have a question. Do people not realize that whether anyone wears a mask or not is not up to this board?
From the emails that I have received, I can only assume that people don't understand that.
Okay.
I don't understand, but you are correct. This is not a decision for the board at this time. It is something that, again, Mayor Ron Nuremberg created for us, and then also Judge Wolf. So the board has no choice but to follow that.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, ma'am, I think that helps.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I think I would just also comment that, I think we all received numerous emails about this over the last couple of days. And I would say it's divided straight down the middle, the number of people who are in favor and the number of people who are against the mask mandate. And I think that's very much rooted in parents who want what's best for what they believe for their kids. But it is essentially out of our hands. It has been since the very beginning. And so I think that is something, and also the question of whether to offer virtual learning has been taken off the table. So I think that those things make it very, very difficult to try to make solutions that work for every family. And so I think that's a struggle that I wanted to acknowledge, and acknowledge that I'm hearing the voices of parents, and I appreciate them reaching out.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. And I, too, would like to say that, yes, we've been inundated with emails. And the response is that it is, as Ms. Rodriguez said, out of our hands, but it has been out of our hands from the very, very beginning. We have to, as a board and as a school district, look out for the entire community, and we have to be accountable for the things that we decide. And so at this particular time, when school starts on Monday, we're going to follow the mandate that the local authorities have given. And we do have another meeting next week. Our regular board meeting is on next Thursday, the 19th. You are welcome to attend. But we'll go into more discussion at that meeting. There will be more details given at that meeting because things are changing constantly. Thank you very much, Mr. Vaughn, for your concerns. We appreciate that. We appreciate the concerns of all of the parents that have been emailing us and calling. But we must do what we feel like is best for the district. All right, with that said, let us move on. At this point in time, we are going into closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, attorney consultation regarding legal issues related to potential, anticipated, or pending construction litigation and construction issues. B, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.072, consultation with legal counsel regarding possible transfer of real property by the district to QT South LLC. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.076, deliberation regarding security devices or security audits. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.089, attorney consultation regarding legal issues and deliberations regarding security devices and security audits. And E, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 418.183, deliberation about information covered by the Texas Government Code Section 418.175-418.182. We are now going into closed session at 6:14. We are going back into open session. It is 6:42 PM. Item 8A, there is no action. Item 8B, consider and take possible action. Consider and take possible action on bids received for the sale of the district real property known as a 4-acre tract of land, more or less consisting of the east portion of the 10-acre Judson Independent School District property located at 102 School Street, City of Converse, Bexar County, pursuant to Local Government Code, Chapter 272, and adopt a written resolution in the form provided authorizing the superintendent or her representative to enter into a real estate sale agreement with the selected bidder, authorize the superintendent or her representative to represent the district in connection with the sale of the property, and authorize the president of the Board of Trustees by resolution to execute a deed and other documents necessary to effect the conveyance of the property. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the bidder selected and adopt a written resolution in the form provided that authorizes the superintendent or her representative to enter into a real estate sale agreement with the selected bidder, authorizes the superintendent or her representative to represent the district in connection with the sale of the property, and authorizes the president of the Board of Trustees by resolution to execute a deed and other documents necessary to effect the conveyance of the property.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded, and we'll start with you, Ms. Canoyer. What say you?
Suzanne Canoyer, aye.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Jennifer Rodriguez, aye.
Ms. Eaton?
Deborah Eaton, aye.
Renee Pichelle, aye, and this motion passes unanimously. Very good, thank you. There is no action for items C or D. So at this time, 6:44 PM, this meeting is adjourned. Yep. That's, well, but you know what? It's a good thing you did. That's.